Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ZOHAR connection. ZOHAR connection Florida. And tonight we're going to have, we're going to study, first of all, we want to dedicate this class for the elevation of the soul of our beloved teacher, Keren bat Avraham Itschak. And we're going to study together with Keren from different places and something that related to the energy of the week, but it can be from different portions or from different times. And we would like to meditate and connect and receive as much as we can from the wisdom of Keren and from the divine inspiration of Keren, that Bezrat Hashem will continue to support all of us. So it's not an easy time for no one, but thank God we need to remember everything that Keren did for all of us. And Keren actually opened the center. She was the one to push the Rav to open the center to the masses. And I remember that Keren shared once that when she told the Rav, let's open the Kabbalah Center for the masses and teach the masses. So the Rav said, they're going to kill us. So Keren said, okay, so we're going to die for a good cause. And we know from stories of Keren that many times, people tried to beat them up. And once even Keren got a baseball bat in her head. She was in the hospital. But it didn't stop Keren and the Rav to continue spreading Kabbalah. Doesn't matter how much resistant Keren and the Rav had, they continue to spread Kabbalah. So thank God, because of that, we are sitting here today and we can study all together. I don't know personally where I will be right now if I didn't connect with Kabbalah, or the Rav and Keren decided not to open to the world, but thank God it happened. And we all, I think, need to go back to the root level and to connect with that day that we all connected with the center, and to remind ourselves that moment, or the first class, or the first meeting with the center, or the first book, or the first time we saw Keren, something that will ignite again that flame of the root level that we might forget, right? Because one of the things we would like to connect with is, when we look at Keren and see the power of Keren and the Rav, that they never stop doing the work. Till the last breath, they did their spiritual work. And it's something that we all need to understand, that in the spiritual work, there's no like a break. There's no like, I'm taking a nap, I'm going to sleep. Because the Kabbalist also with taking a nap or go to sleep, that we need to rest for sure, it also was part of the spiritual work. Because we know the spiritual work is not necessarily physically to run in the streets and to just give flyers or zohars. It's also the level of my consciousness. And as the Rav used to say, where I'm at right now, this is in my consciousness, this is the place I'm at right now. So we need to make sure that we pay attention really to our spirituality and everything we received from Keren, from the Rav, all the knowledge, because right now, what the Rav and Keren, they want from us, it's to do the work. It says that the students, they are the body parts of the teacher. So we are the body parts of the Rav and Keren. And right now, they can support us more than ever. Unfortunately, it's very hard that physically they're not with us. But according to what the Zohar explained, that the righteous people, they're helping us more, from the upper world. It says that the universe cannot be exist if the righteous people is not going to help us from the upper world. So it's something, I know it's something that is very hard for us to grasp and to understand what does it mean, but this is what the Zohar explained, that the universe cannot be exist without the help of the righteous people from the upper world. So we do need to connect with them. We do need to ask for help, for guidance, to listen to the messages and to follow the messages. You know, it's one thing to listen. This is the portion of, right, Ekev Tishmeun. It says like that we should listen, because Ekev, it's the heel, and also it's a bit like something that we can procrastinate. But when the Israelite will listen, so the light will give them all the blessings that and sustenance and abundance that they should have. And also in this week parasha, it says about Moshe telling them, don't worry about the war that's about to come, because the light will help you and will support you. And also you remind us everything that happened in the desert, all the miracles that the Creator gave us in the desert, and we continue complain, right? We should have the vegetables they have in Egypt. We should have all of those luxuries they have in Egypt, but the Creator gave us so many blessings and miracles in the desert that we didn't really appreciate. And also, Moshe is talking about the land of Israel, about the blessings that exist in the land of Israel. And he says, you shouldn't think for a second that because of your wisdom or your power, you received all of those good things that exist in the land of Israel. Because the Creator, He is the one that gives you all the good. When we mention the land of Israel, we know that when we live in here, let's say here, it means like whatever you at in the world, so it means outside of the land of Israel. But the land of Israel, we know that the Zohar explained that everything that we receive outside of the land of Israel, we receive from Israel. Because it says that it's called the Even HaShtiyah, there is the channel of energy, because the same way that the baby receiving his food, right, when he's in the womb, from the cord, an umbilical cord, right? So the same way the Zohar explained, there is a place where the Holy Temple been built, that this place, it's the entrance for all the blessings that this world receiving. And the Holy Temple shared this light with the entire world. And this is why when the Holy Temple was there, it says that it wasn't war in the world. Imagine, no war in the world. That's something maybe it's very hard for us in our days to imagine, but no war in the world, peace. People live in peace. So it says you should remember that all the good that you have, it's from the Creator. So from the day that you leave Egypt, the Creator give you all the good. But what you did, you just continue to complain. And there is another section in this parasha that it says we should have the awe or the fear toward the light, and we should love God. We should love God. It's amazing to see that, they need to tell us to love. It's to love God, to love other people. And we should walk in the way of the light, and we should love the light with our two hearts, because we know one side is the evil inclination, the other side is the good inclination, and and with all of our soul. And at the end, almost at the end of this parasha, we have the second part of the Shema Israel. We know Shema Israel, there are 4 parts. Last week we connected with the first one. This week is the second one. But the second one also is dealing with the energy of love, that we need to connect with the Creator with love. And this week, not by a coincidence, is also the week of love, because we know we have tomorrow night, we have Tu B'Av, right? Just for us to connect with this energy. So let's begin and let's see some insights and connect first of all with the first verse before we're going to watch the video from Keren. I would like to share the screen with you, the PowerPoint. Give me just a second. Okay, so there's the full screen. Okay, so we talked about the energy of Ekev, the energy of the hill, and let's connect with the first verse of the Zohar. I'm going to read the Aramaic. We're just going to set up our consciousness, and we can ask for a sign for guidance to connect with the energy of the week and to receive any message that can help us in our spiritual work. ראיה מהימנה, והיה עקב תשמעון את המשפטים האלה וגומר, ואכלת ושבעת וברכת את אדוני אלוהיך וגומר. פיקודדה לברכה לקודשא בריחו על כל מה דאכיל ושתה, והתהנה בהי עלמא, ואילה בריך יקרא גזלן לגבי קודשא בריחו, דכתיב גוזל אביו ואמו, והאוקמו החבריה, בגין דברכן דבריך ורנש, לקודשא בריחו, עתה להמשכה חיין ממקורה דחיי, לשמי דקודשא בריחו קדישה, ולארכה עלה מההוא משחה אלאה, ועתה להתמשכה מתאמן לכל עלמא. If you can have a volunteer to read the English translation, please. Coming soon. Please.
I'll read.
Yes.
Ra'eya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments, when you have eaten and are replete, then you shall bless Hashem, your Elohim. We are commanded to bless the Holy One, blessed be He, for everything we eat and drink and enjoy in this world. He who does not bless is considered as stealing from the Holy One, blessed be He, as it is written, he who robs his father or his mother. And the friends explained that it applies to the Holy One, blessed be He. The blessings that a person gives the Holy One, blessed be He, are meant to draw life from the source of life, which is Binah, to the holy name of the Holy One, blessed be He. And these blessings are to pour on top of Him from that supernal oil that is the abundance of Chokhmah. From there, it is then drawn upon the whole world.
Thank you. So let's watch the first video from Keren, and then we'll continue.
You know, we always ask the question that for thousands of years, people have been praying, meditating, getting closer to their Creator. And yet we see the world in destruction and separation. So what happened to the prayers of all those people? What happened to the actions that they have done? Well, first of all, we need to understand that a lot of the actions and a lot of the prayers have already found by allowing things like the birth of the state of Israel, which would never happen unless there was X amount of veils being released for that to happen. We see things, we see phenomena because of what had been done. But to bring it down to today, one must understand that it isn't enough just to pray, and it isn't enough just to be in a class and to take lessons. One has to take the knowledge that one receives and puts it into practicality, into their lives, into the way they treat their friends, into the way they treat their family. A spiritual person is not a person that just sits and learns all day. When I learn for me. When I teach for you. When I sit by myself and meditate, when I sit by myself and pray, it's all so that I should be able somehow to receive that knowledge. And when I'm saying I, That's a plural I. That's an I for you as well. In other words, let's say we is a much better word. It means that each time you take for yourself, and when you're sitting here at a class, or when you're praying, or anything that you're doing which only involves yourself, those are the things that we have to incorporate and to take it into life in general, to allow that which we have done and learned to be shared with others. If not, it doesn't go anywhere. It just remains with you. And if it remains there, it's lacking. So sometimes when we ask, how come, I've prayed and I learned and I'm here, how come there's no activation in my life? What'd you do to activate it? What action have you done? Have you taken your tools and applied it to the way you see people, to the way you do your business, to the way you treat your family? Knowledge is only something that has value if you apply it into the rules of life. Without that, you've got a vessel that's full and yet doesn't have the capacity to create energy. It's up to you in your life to take that which you receive and pass it on. Maybe one person, maybe a group, but whatever it is, if you don't turn that which you have into an application that helps others, it's an empty vessel. Enjoy the class.
Beautiful. Karen shared with us a very powerful and beautiful and simple concept, right? I'm sure we heard it so many times, but the Kabbalists explain many times. It's one thing to study, and it's another thing to really create a change. And we know that all of us here, this is why, in this parasha it says to listen. Ekev tishme'un, you should listen. Many times we hearing something, we're not listening. To listen is something much more deeper. It means that I'm already taking an action. I'm already thinking, how can I take action and I can change it? And many times we can read something, we can learn something, we can have the wow, it was amazing concept, but not necessarily we will take action and we're going to change it. Okay, telling us here, especially when we're talking about prayer, we're talking about connection, because the Zohar speaking here about connections, about prayers, about when we eating, to make the blessings, right, to connect. So it's important, yes, to make the blessings and to connect, but if I'm receiving this light and I'm not taking this light to support and to help me to change, so as Karen says, so what do you do with this light? We're actually wasting it. And many times we're receiving so much light, and then in a second, the opponent can come and push our button and steal all the light. And we don't pay attention, especially in our days, but there is so much noise around us. We need to find the time to quiet our mind, to quiet our mind, to quiet our thoughts, to quiet all this noise of the 1%. And if we're not doing it, so without paying attention, without being proactive about it, as Karen explained, we can read something, but not necessarily I will take it in that I need to change. I'm the one that I need to change first. And according to what the Kabbalists explain, just a reminder that there is something they call light of wisdom and light of mercy. And as Karen said, sometimes we can learn something. It's called light of wisdom. But if we're not activating the energy of changing and acting and sharing, we can reveal this light, because we need to have a vessel of light of mercy. We can reveal this light in a way that will manifest itself in our life, that we can see result. So one of the things we would like to do, to start to pay more attention to receive the energy of this week. First of all, I want to open my spiritual ears. And I want to listen more to the messages. Listen, it means not just to listen to people. To listen to people is one thing, but while we're reading something, while we study, you reading a book of Kabbalah, reading the Zohar, listen to a lecture, right? We want to hear and to take it in. What does it mean for me? What does it mean in my life? How I can use it in my life? Because remember, just to tell people what to do, it's not going to help. And people not necessarily will do what we tell them to do. Then we're going to be more upset and more angry. Because sometimes we can have a lot of information and not necessarily we using it in a way of knowledge and then receiving the wisdom from it. So with that information, we just bombarding other people by telling them what to do or not to do. So that's not the point of study. The point of study is, first of all, and making my connections, it's first of all to remember that I'm here to do my own correction. So I need to take it in first and check what I need to change, how it can help me to elevate myself to a different level. While I'm reaching the higher level of consciousness, now automatically my behavior will change around people. People will notice, people will feel my energy, and they will want to also to change, to connect. They will ask maybe different questions that they didn't ask before. Something need to change. And as Zohar telling us in verse 2, he says, when you eat and you are full, now you should bless the Creator. With those blessings, the Zohar says, the person built vessels that those vessels receive the abundance from the upper world. The upper world. That this place of the upper world called Bina. We know Bina, it's called the cosmic bank. Anything that we can imagine that we want, or we don't even know that it exists, comes from this cosmic bank, Bina. Bina. And then all the levels get all the blessings from the source of Zir and Bin and Malchut. Because what we're doing when we making a blessing, how we making the connection? We're making the connection by connecting Zir and Bin and Malchut. It means that my mouth, right, represent the energy of Malchut, this world, the physical world, and the voice connect with the energy of Zir and Pin. So we're combining the two worlds together, and while making the blessing, again, I'm not going to explain about how to, about the blessing itself, but in the blessing itself, the way it's written in a way that combines the universes with all the Aleph Bet, right? And connecting us with the blessing in the upper world, and then we're receiving the energy to our world. So a blessing, it's something that connects us with all the abundance we're supposed to receive, but we need to have the right intention and the right consciousness about it, because we can just mumble things without the right intention. So then what we do, we just create vessels, but they can be empty, because the energy can go right away to the opponent. And also with our study or with our prayers, right? We can pray for something. The light can give us the opportunity to build a vessel, and we can push it away. Because when the obstacle arrives, the obstacle is there to help me not just to correct the obstacle, sometimes also to have the right vessel to receive the blessing I ask for. But instead of using it as a step to jump to my next level, usually we just push it away. So this is why, one of the things that Karen explained, first of all, I need to take it in, I need to connect. I need to have those moments that I'm quiet in my mind, I can meditate, I can make my own connections that I need to understand what I need to change, what I need to do. And then I can share it with other people. So now let's watch the second video, another video from Karen, and to connect with another point.
You know, there's this well-known story about this man who was so pious that he wanted to be able to reach God. And so he found this huge tower, and he was convinced through his meditations and prayers that that's where God sat. And he started to climb and climb and climb, and it took him days and then weeks. And then finally, almost a year. And each day as he was climbing, he was saying, God, God, where are you? God, God, I need to find the connection to you. And then finally, at the end of his journey, he finds himself on top of this huge mountain ivory tower. And with frustration, he cries out, God, God, where are you? And a voice from below says, I'm here. And he says, where? He says, no, I'm here. And he says, where? He says, I'm here amongst the people. So the story is obvious, but the message is not quite so obvious to most people. When we see or try to become like God, it doesn't mean that, you know, we should change our attitudes or become different people. It simply means that the godly quality, which is yours and mine and everybody else's, is part of this game that we play called life. And what we're asked to do, to love God, is to try to find, instead of the criticalness of each other, find the beauty in each other. Instead of being, you know, I'm going to be kind because I have to be, or I'm going to be charming or sweet, or I'm going to give because I'm supposed to. I'm going to give because it's godlike to give. I'm going to give because what I want from the Creator is what I want for me. And the only way I can get that, the only way that I can prove that I believe in the existence of a divine Creator, in fact, that I love the idea that we're protected and surrounded by a divine force, is by showing each individual that comes into our pathway how we respond, how we connect to the godliness inside of me. Contrary, anything that we do, and we will do it all the time, as long as we're in this body, this vestment, we will do negative things. And every time we do, we should just simply say to ourselves, next time will be better. But with a sincerity. It's like, you know, when you steal an extra piece of carbohydrate or that extra cake, and you know you shouldn't have it, but I just this time. Okay. To love God means to be able to see the godliness in each one of us. And in that way, love that person for that which is inside of him. To find the positive in the person and not the negative. That's the way we grow. That's the way we become closer. It's the way we don't start climbing that mountain. And a lot of preachers and a lot of teachers think they need to climb the mountain to reach God. The opposite is true. Sometimes we need to get into the dirt, and that's where we'll find our God. Because maybe that's where we have to get to pull somebody else from there. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful and powerful. Now, while Karen were talking, she reminded me a story Oh, actually, it's not a story. It's something that this is the way those people lives. But you know, like people that doing martial art, and you might see different movies about martial arts. And even though before they fight, before they even sometimes in the movies, in the old times, they want to kill each other, they bow to each other. Something doesn't make sense. Why two enemies bow to each other, right? They just put their hands and they bow in, right? So I read in one of the books that they explain why they do that. And they saying that when they bow in, what they saying, I know that you have the light of the Creator inside of you. So I respect the light of the Creator within you, right? And it's exactly what Karen said here, that to love is not just about just, usually we love in ourselves, but it's really to start to see the other person, but not what I know about the person, not what I want him to change, right? Or how I want to change him. It's more to start to see the light of the Creator inside of the person. Because we know, first of all, we're not perfect and we came here to correct. So if I'm not perfect, the other person also is not perfect. We're not perfect. If we been perfect, we're not going to stay here because we came here to correct and to go back to the endless. So one of the things, this week also, as we said before, we have Tu B'Av. It's the energy of love. It will start tomorrow night till Wednesday night. The energy that exists in the universe that we can all connect with. So we'd like to focus our energy. And it's like a simple practice. It's a simple practice to look into people that you already have in your life. And it doesn't matter what they say or how many years you know them. Try to recognize the light of the Creator, the soul that they have. It means not to see the soul, just to think about it. Just a second, this person have the soul of the Creator. One of the Kabbalists explained that what we love in the other person, if you ask people that they're telling you, I love you, ask the person, okay, it's nice, but what you love, what does it mean you love me? Can you explain to me what you love in me? You will find that many times people doesn't know what to answer. They just feel something and they express it to say, I love you. But what does it mean you love me? What you love about me, right? Now they need to think. So why I need to think why I love you, right? So many times we say words without paying attention to what we're saying. We're just feeling something and we're just saying it, right? So one of the Kabbalists explained that the truth is what we love, it's what we invest in the other person. And when we have in close relationships, right, we can love the person more and more if we're going to invest in the person more and more. Now, to invest, but with no agenda. Remember, usually we share in and we invest in, and we have the expectation that the person will give us in return. No, I'm talking about investment of like no return. The same way, and they give a beautiful example. The same way when a person have, let's say he did in his backyard like beautiful flowers, right? So what do you need to do? You need to invest his energy and his time and his money and in the water, right? To take care of those plants, those flowers. What he receive in return, those beautiful colors, beautiful flowers. So now we enjoy them, right? So the more you're going to invest and to put energy into it, he's going to love them more. But what's happened when he will stop to invest in his garden? What will happen? Very fast, he's going to left without a garden, right? Also in our relationships. So in the beginning, we invest a lot, any relationship. And then when we have the garden, somehow we stop to invest. And here Karen says, we need to remember that each person have the light of the Creator within. And Baal Shem Tov explained that You know, we can't even say bad words about ourselves. Why? Because we have the light of the Creator. We have the soul. We have the part that comes from God. So if we say something bad about us in a negative way, but with anger, not about, oh, I need to change something. Okay, that's okay, because you want to be proactive about it. But if you blaming yourself and you're angry about it, what's happened actually, we say negative words about the Creator, about Hashem Tov said, right? So instead of that, yes, I need to look and find my negativity and to be proactive to change it. So in the same way, if I can't say those negative words about myself, imagine how many times we find ourselves saying so many negative words about other people. What it creates in my life creates more blockages. And I said, I want love, I want love, I want love. But how can I receive love? As Karen just mentioned, the Creator is among us. And I was explained, to love the Creator, we need first of all to work with each other and to come to that level of loving each other. So let's start to pay more attention how much I'm really investing in the people that I said I love. To love someone, it doesn't mean that he's just there in my life. I need to invest. And whatever investment it means to you, it can be money, it can be energy, it can be knowledge, it can be attention, it can be help them in different ways. Each person is different. Each person needs different attention, different type of love, care, simple care. As Avraham explained, simple love, not in a complicated way. And Karen said in a beautiful, beautiful simplicity, just to recognize and to remember that the other person have the light of the Creator within. So when we think about it, if I know that the light is standing in front of me, and not my wife, not my husband, not my boss, I want to respect the light of the Creator within this person. And then I'm not going to allow myself to behave in the way that I want to behave right now. As we call in Kabbalah, to do more restriction. But here, I'm going to be more proactive about it. So I'm going to recognize the light of the Creator so we can start to practice, to look at each person and to start to think, oh, this person has the light of the Creator. Automatically, you will see, by practicing, we're going to raise the level of our consciousness. And now what I'm going to start to do, I'm going to start to invest in this person. Again, whatever I need to, according my time, according my knowledge, just to invest, just the energy. We are all one. We nourish in each other, we help in each other. And also, we see ourselves in the other person behavior. So this is why many times we don't like what we see in the other person, because we think it's the other person. But no, it's not the other person. The other person is just there to help me to see what I need to change. And because I can't see about myself, because our soul, it says, is pure in this filthy body. So it's hard for us to see what's wrong about us. And this is why the Creator did that mirror way that we see in another person. So instead of looking into the person and see what is bad in the person and his behavior and how we need to change, I don't like this, I don't like that. If he's in my life and I choose this person to be in my life, let's start to invest in this person and reveal more energy of love, light, sustenance, abundance. Build our own vessel to receive more energy. And then when we say, I want love, we're going to understand what does it mean, love. We're going to feel it. We're going to have that energy, that capacity even to have love. Okay? So let's take this opportunity of this week, the energy of love, and elevate ourselves to different level of consciousness and intention. And now we're going to connect with the third video of Karen. a second. Oh, sorry.
You know, there's this well-known story about this man who was,
No.
he was so...
Sorry. This is the video.
Hi, everybody. Today's lecture will be spirituality in action. And basically, it's an interesting concept. You know, people believe that they become more spiritual as they learn what they get out of the classes. They pray, and they feel really good afterward, which is fine. I mean, we all have to, in some way or another, pray. We all have to learn. We all have to do certain things. But the true ability to understand what we're about, certainly, and what it means to have spirituality in action reminds me of a story. Many, many years ago, a matter of fact, one of the first Shabbats that I had ever kept myself, I was walking in the old city of Jerusalem, and it was Friday night. And as I walked through the gates, I saw that there was a lamb that was tied with a rope, and his legs were caught in the rope, and it was almost bleeding, and his movement would maybe break his leg. And I saw this, and I was with a few people that were very religious, I mean, truly religious. And I walked over, I unloosened the lamb, and I let it to be, free. His legs were free, he wouldn't get hurt. And they were like aghast. They were like, how could you do that? The animal's muksan Shabbat. And I said, as far as I'm concerned, if the animal would have been hurt, it would be more for me, whether it's right or wrong, I'm not going into that, more for me that I would save that animal from breaking its leg than for me to look aside and not see it and just to keep for myself. Sometimes, even when we believe our own personal religiosity might be in the way of something that may help another human being or may create something. Sometimes we have to put what we believe into action. If you see somebody, even if it's a time when you don't make phone calls, you don't do anything, and you see that somebody is ill and refuses to get help for them. Get help for them. Take everything that you learn and put it into physical action. When we read about, and we learn that Rabbi Itschak says that the idea of growing closer to the Creator is with what we do and not what we can be and we can become, learned in all forms of knowledge. But that doesn't make one spiritual. It just makes one learned. And it's a great thing to strive for learning. It's a greater thing to strive, to desire, to take that learning and bring it into a place of doing. And by doing, therefore, your knowledge becomes real. I forgot where it was written, but it says that someone who has knowledge and who has learned and yet seeks not to use it for the purpose of helping others, it's like he never learned at all. So the whole purpose of everything that a human being learns, the whole purpose in general, is not so that, look at me, look at how bright I am, look at how learned I am. It's the story of the great master yoga master, stood on his head for 4 hours every day. And of course, all his students thought he was so wonderful to be able to stand on his head for 4 hours a day. And so they made a pact and they said, you know what? Let's just pass him by for 2 weeks and make no reference, like we don't even realize of what he's doing. And sure enough, the students just bypassed him, made like nothing was happening. And, after a while, he stopped standing on his head for 4 hours a day. What am I saying with that? I'm saying that learning of all kinds is a great thing. Prayer is also a great thing. But the be-all in the end-all is, how does one take all that he has gotten, all that he's learned, and if you want something to help in prayer, it says that if you really want to ask for something, ask for somebody else first. Open the door by asking that someone else receives other than yourself. When you walk out on the surfaces of Shabbat and you're talking and you feel good about yourself and you feel that you have a weight sort of lifted from you because of the prayers that we have done. See if you can find a place in that time afterwards at the meal or with the people that you're with to share something to help them in their way. And by so doing, make those prayers into fruition. All that we are and all that we learn are simply to be able to share and to give to others. If we take it internally and we use it only for ourselves, it's not spiritual. And it has no effect. The effect is only by assimilating it with others and giving to others what we have received. Share a little bit with one person. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, to remind me another story, because the Kabbalah is saying that we need to find ourselves busy, all the time busy. Not just busy in the 1% world and in the physical work, busy in spirituality. As Rav Ashlag, his student, Rav Brandman, the teacher of the Rav, came to him one day and told him, listen, I need to find a job. So he told him, Rav Ashlag told his student, Rav Brandman, you need to find a job that your body will be busy and your mind will be free. So he went and he found a job in construction. He was doing the most hard work over there, right? So he was working very hard in the sun, but he makes sure that his body will be busy, but his mind was free. So he can continue meditating and studying his mind, right? We have so many tools, so many letters, so many meditations, right? That during the day, not necessarily we remember to use them, right? Just if something happened. Something happened, oh, let me just stop and scan the ZOHAR or do an Bekoach or scan 7 names of God. But if you pay attention, how much empty space we have even while we're driving or while we wait in the lane or in the supermarket, right? Just pay attention to your thoughts. See what's going on over there. What are you thinking of? Imagine if we can use those times to meditate about things we want, to use the tools, to use everything, right? And while we do that, now we're going to start to realize, just a second, maybe this person in the supermarket, I see maybe he doesn't feel well a little bit. So maybe I can meditate on him. Maybe I can meditate on this woman. Maybe I'm going to remember that different people I can share with. So we need to start to take this energy and to wake up ourselves to that place of just a second. This world, it's an amazing world. There's a lot of blessings, but also if I'm not preparing the vessel to receive those blessings, God forbid, it will be empty vessel. An empty vessel, it means going to be darkness in this vessel. We don't want to have empty vessels. We want to have full vessels. So I'm going to share with you just something from Karen, from this parashat Ekev. And Karen says, sometimes we see people that they're not good people, but they have a lot of success in their life. He says, and this is because the person, he did good deeds. He did some good deeds. And he get paid in this world. But when he going to leave this world and go to the upper world, he going to ask for the payment for his good deeds. And you're going to tell him, listen, you're going to show him, we already pay you for those good deeds. But righteous, Karen says, that you can see that many righteous, they suffer in their life. So there are two reasons. The first one, it's for cleansing. they cleansing themselves and cleansing also, we know the Kabbalah is cleansing also the world. And we know that disease, Karen said in this parasha, it's cleanse the person and help him to grow spiritually. Because, crisis comes before the healing. And this is a big chance for the person, like Job, that he left the world for the generation, to take all the negativity of the generation. He protect them. And this is the second reason. The first reason, Karen says, it's for cleansing. And the second reason, it's to protect the generation. And this is why a righteous person suffer. And a blessing, what is a blessing, Karen says? It's when the person is full with light. And it doesn't matter if it's a path of suffering or not. Because sometimes a person can lose all his money, can lose the business, but then, and after he loses everything, he will grow back again. So what I would like to do right now, we have a few minutes left. Again, just maybe 2 or 3 people, very short. If someone feel he wants to share something, maybe experience with Karen, or to say something from his heart, please just unmute yourself, say your name, and please share with us, but please something very short that more people can talk. I'm just going to put the charger because the battery is low.
Hello, I'll be the brave one and I'll speak. My name is Maricela.
Hi, Maricela.
And I just wanted to say thank you to Karen Bird because she opened the opportunity for many of us to tap into this wisdom. And most importantly, for me personally, I've been studying Kabbalah for about 4 or 5 years, and I can definitely sense the difference. So may her memory be for a blessing. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you for sharing.
Hi, everybody. It's Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Since I was on the other side when I passed, I know that Karen knew before she went. And I felt so good about that because I know that her journey is just starting now and that she's able to help us, from there with the Rav and others. So, and I think when a soul passes, they get lost at first. It takes a while, but she knew. So it's to adjust and what was there. I know that she knew because I heard other lectures that she made. So I'm very grateful, and she's an eternal love and light. And I'm just very grateful for all the knowledge, teachers, and everything. And thank you, Michael, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you for sharing.
Hi, it's Clarissa.
Hi, Clarissa.
How are you? I just want to share that the story that I really always impact me is this story about the boy with the wizard. When I hear that story a long time ago, and Karen was the one that was sharing it, I said, wow, if she feel, I was thinking, if she feel that she is that boy, what is about me that I don't even, I am so far away, right? And then I said, well, in all sense, everybody in our generation has to feel that way, that we need to stretch, we need to do more and be more for people, so that we really are able to open a gate, a small gate, a big gate, I don't know, but I really always connect with that history about Karen, so that we use all our abilities and all our heart to help others and share and create a better world for everybody, a world that works.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Janine, do you have any announcements you want to share with us? Is Janine here?
Sorry, I was talking, I was in mute.
Oh,
I
sorry.
just shared, guys, in the chat the link so you guys can watch the event tomorrow at 7:30.
Okay, can you please also post the link so we can continue if whoever wants to stay?
We also have like Miriam here. She's a mentor from LA, and she has like kind of like after the class, like a little if people wants to share what you learn, and she will guide it. I'm gonna post the link for that as well.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank
You, Michael. Yeah, I'm really also so thankful to Karen. I had a feeling that she's gonna choose Tisha B'Av to live this reality, and she left at sunrise, right when it's the light after the darkness. And I, with full certainty, I know that she will do all that she can to convince the tzaddikim, the Rav, the Creator, that to have mercy on humanity and help us finish our tikkun and bring back the redemption.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So if you, Janine, you can copy paste the link. Whoever would like to stay after to discuss the class and different points. I think it's very, very nice and very powerful. So the link, I think, already in the chat. You just copy paste it or click it and connect with another Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, everybody.
And have a good night.
Thank you,
תודה,
Michael.
מיכאל. ביי,
Thank you.
להתראות.
Bye.
Bye.
ביי.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You are a lovely group.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Michael. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, have a good night. Miracles and wonders.